Welcome back to Brush Country Monsters. This week's episode, we're going to be following Allan and Denise Rovig. They're at the Premier Ranch in Central Texas, and they're after 2 huge whitetail. Stay tuned for more Brush Country Monsters.
We're always looking for a great whitetail destination, and boy, did we find one with our good friend Perry Ross at Premier Ranch.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents Brush Country Monsters.
Allan, this Texas hill country is gorgeous.
It really is.
I'm excited to get out here. I've never hunted the Texas hill country. I don't think you have either.
Now, we're at the end of our 15-hour trip from South Georgia. We're hunting with our good friend Perry Ross out here in the hill country.
My name's Perry Ross, Ross Trophy Outfitters and Premier Ranch out West Hill Country, Texas.
Perry's been getting us pumped up all summer, sending us pictures of some of these bucks, and it's going to be quite the challenge. Seeing all these live oaks and all the acorns on them, it's going to be hard to pattern them, but I think Perry's done his homework, so we're looking for a great hunt in some of this beautiful country.
Yeah, he's got us pumped up.
So we get there, and just what a beautiful setting. We finally get back close to the lodge. Big open meadow, little oak trees all over the place. We've already seen a couple deer run across the road, so it's looking great. The anticipation's high for Premier Ranch.
My first impression at Premier Ranch is gorgeous. The lodge is beautiful, and I realized right to start that we're going to be well taken care of.
For this trip, Denise and I have decided to take one of our favorite calibers, the 6.5 Weatherby. Well, we just pulled up here at Premier Ranch, and even though we brought the guns out here in the back of the truck in hard cases, we always like to shoot them when we get to our destination. So we're gonna shoot this first one. This is a 6.5 Weatherby that I'm gonna hunt with. This is a cartridge we came up with several years back. It shoots a 140 grain Burger, 3200 plus, built on Borden's new titanium action. Got a Hart No. 4 fluted 26-inch barrel, and our new Apex Hunter 2 stock. And we've got this one topped with a Swarovski Z8 2.3 to 18 by 56 with a turret on top. So we had this hitting out to 1,000 yards at home. We're gonna see, just make sure it didn't take any bumps on the way out here. Well, we're ready to rock and roll. That's right where we left it in Georgia, and these Texas bucks are in trouble. So the first morning I go with Perry, and he decides we're gonna sit in this ground blind on the side of a hill overlooking a valley. So we get in there way before daylight, and as day starts cracking, we start seeing some does. That's about it for the first morning here on Premier Ranch. It was cloudy and breezy, nice this morning. We just didn't see much. We're hunting on the hillside out here in Central Texas and looking for a huge 5x5 that they call Tenzilla. So we didn't see Tenzilla this morning, but we're gonna be back after him this afternoon. First afternoon here at the Premier Ranch. It's nice and cool, about 91.
92.
But we do have a little wind, so Denise is after a buck
Big
call.
John.
Looking for a big 8.
Big 8.
High tower.
High tower.
You call him Big John.
Big John. Big John.
Big John,
That's my
bad.
name. Big
Okay,
John.
Big
Big John.
We're ready to go. First afternoon, Premier Ranch, Perry Ross, Macklin Super Guide, and
His wife is tagging along.
It's a little warmer than it was yesterday.
I can believe it. Oh yeah, it's him. I can't believe it. You see him, Chad.
We go back to camp, we have this great gourmet meal there, and we make a plan for the second day.
Bobby and Joanne are chuck wagon chefs. There's no other way to put it. They've won awards all over the United States. We couldn't have been treated any better than at the premiere.
Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, the most accurate hunting rifles in the world. Yeti Coolers, built for the wild. Safari Club International Foundation, first for wildlife. Hoff Power Auto and Outdoor Stores, over 50 years in Central Texas, and we couldn't have stuck around this long if we were steering you wrong. Chupacabra Rub, shake it, rub it, love it. And Surge Pro, the best yield-enhancing foliar fertilizer on the market. Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue. Swarovski Optique, see the unseen. Burger Bullets, shoot better, shoot burger. Hart Rifle Barrels, unparalleled performance, handcrafted one at a time. And John Burrell's High Adventure Company, the finest collection of big game wing shooting and sport fishing destinations in the world.
Now we're ready. Got the smoke stick.
First morning, we don't have to wait too long. We've got a doe that comes out feeding from the left. And not long after that, Big John shows up.
He's just on the other side of the fence. His head is down right now. He's kind of turned in toward the fence, and I can't see him now. I can see his body, but
I can see Big John. The cameraman can't see Big John. And this goes on and on, back and forth, for what seemed like forever. After a long wait, trying to get Big John in view for both me and the camera guy, he leaves. We never see him again.
Perry's got me all pumped. He's telling me about this real heavy, basic 6x5 with inside points and some stickers and all. So we go out and sit in this little blind on this hillside, and where he's seen this deer a lot, and we don't see much. You know, we see a bobcat, we see a few does. But Perry's determined that this is where this deer is.
This afternoon, we're going to give it another shot.
well, we are back out this evening going after Big John. We've seen him a couple of times. He just did not present an ethical shot for us to take. Macklin's not going to be out with us this evening, but we know this deer. We're not going to mistake him for anybody else. We know what we're doing if we can just get him to come out where we can take a shot.
We've had a pretty frustrating couple of days here in the hill country of Texas. We hunted here last night for the first time and saw a beautiful mainframe 8, just bladed and beautiful deer. Nicknamed him Big John. He managed to get away without giving us a shot last night, and so we were right back here this morning. He showed up far off in the tree line and never gave us a shot. Back this afternoon, we've been sweating it out for an hour and a half. No sign of him. We've seen some does and bucks down in the tree line, but not anything we wish to take.
This afternoon, we did see deer over in the area where Big John had shown up that morning, but he never came back out.
Late night at the Premier Ranch.
Bobby and Joanne are chuck wagon chefs. There's no other way to put it. They've won awards all over the United States.
Well, I always like finishing them off with a secret recipe that my dad always finished steaks off with. It's butter, Worcestershire sauce, salt, and pepper. And so it just kind of finishes them off a little bit. You can do it on the grill, but it flames it up quite a bit. So I like to just kind of do it. Some of your more famous steakhouses like putting a pat of butter on it, but I like melting the butter and putting a little Worcestershire sauce in it. Letting it soak in while the steak is resting. It's very important to let your steak rest for at least 10 to 15 minutes after you've cooked it, so those juices will, and the muscle tissue starts to relax to make it tender.
Brush Country Monsters is brought to you by Big & J Long Range Attractants. The aroma is super strong, the range is super long. Revolution Safe Company, inspired by Pendleton. Rotating gun management made simple. Borden Accuracy, makers of the Rimrock, Alpine, and Timberline custom actions. Swagger, the bipod with moves. And New Breed Archery, no hype, just hunt.
Well, we're not giving up on Big John yet. We've sat 3 hunts in this blind, didn't see him at all last night.
But I'm pretty stubborn, so I wanted to give him one more try.
There's a buck right up next to the fence where I've got my rifle pointed. He's in the grass. It's not Big John, though.
We had some deer movement that morning, basically off to the right where we had seen Big John the morning before, but no Big John.
Perry and I are looking at the map, and he decides that since we didn't see this deer on this hillside, that he's probably down in this bottom, and he's got a shooting house in this bottom with a big long sendero. We decide we're going to wait till that afternoon to try to get in there. We slip in there in the middle of the day, we get all set up, the wind's perfect.
Well, it's the second afternoon of our hunt here at Premier Ranch with my good friend Perry Ross. Matter of fact, Perry's behind the camera, so we're sitting in a big blind this afternoon where we can see about 5 senderos, and we hope he'll make an appearance today and we can put one of these 140 grain burgers right through his shoulders. She's about 275, 277. Might for a buck to walk out about right there. He might not make it.
Today we're going to talk about the heart and soul of any custom rifle, a custom action. And our preferred action at BCM is one made by Jim Borden, the Borden Timberline, Alpine for the short actions. These are just great. I mean, why should anybody pay for a custom action? What are the advantages of a custom action over, say, any factory action?
Custom actions are the beginning of the entire process of putting together a custom, finely tuned rifle. It's the first place you have to start. It's where we mate the barrel to. It's where we bed the stock to. If you don't have a properly manufactured action, which is concentric and has the tolerances to reasonable tightness, you're not going to have the potential for accuracy that we're looking for in hunting rifles for the public.
Absolutely. And the aesthetics of most custom actions is superior to the aesthetics of a factory action. This one's got the escalloped sides, it's got side bolt release, got a nice helical bolt that just looks cool. I don't care what anybody says.
That's nice.
It's got a better extraction system. A lot of your other factory actions have that little thumbnail extractor. This one's got a Seiko extractor for more positive extraction. And they're just great bolt knob, straight bolt knob compared to curved bolt knob. All that just contributes to the aesthetics on top of it being a completely concentric action.
And the ease of the bolt release, I think, is something to point out to people, because whereas before on a lot of the triggers you had to push up from something on the bottom to get your bolt to release, which is a little bit clumsy. But on these, all you do is reach over and push in, and you can take the whole bolt out.
You can take a factory action, you can blueprint it, square the bolt face, square the receiver face, lap the lugs, but you still got a factory action, and you don't have all the aesthetics of this one.
Very rarely do we have to do anything to the custom actions. We check them, of course, but very rarely do you have to do anything to improve them.
So if you're interested in a custom action built on one of these board and actions on one of our half-minute MOA guaranteed rifles, give us a call today at McWhorter Custom Rifles. And that's your on-target tip of the week, brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles.
This is the last day of my hunt here at Premier Ranch. I'm done with Big John. I've got one sit left. I'm going somewhere else. And this is where Perry saves the day. And he's just found this giant of a 10-point on trail camera in a different area on the ranch. New blind, new setup. This is a much thicker, brushier area, but this is where the big 10-point that Perry has seen on the trail camera is probably bedding. We had just gotten settled in the blind, gotten all the windows open, everything in place. And the first deer we see is this giant 5x5.
Holy moly, that's Curly. Oh man, he's really big. He's big.
The 140 grain Burger bullet put a bad hurting on this big 10-point.
This afternoon we moved to a totally new area, new blind, and we had just gotten settled in. And out comes this giant buck. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
This should be about where he's turned in.
And just like I thought, we get 20 feet into the brush and there's Curly. Time's just going on forever.
Oh my God, look at this buck. What a bruiser of a 10-point. Look at that. He is way bigger than I thought he was. Oh my gosh. Look how his threes curl in. That is amazing. Oh man, all of the frustration of the last few days has been worth it. First hunt of the season for me, Hill Country, Texas. First time. He's got all kind of splits on his brows. Look at the mass on that. I am so glad Big John did not show up again this afternoon. What an awesome hunt. My first time in the hill country of Texas. My first hunt for this season at all. This is a way bigger smile on my face with this deer than what I was expecting with Big John. Amazing hunt with Perry Ross and Premier Ranch. Folks, this is what it's all about. What a great start to the season for me.
Great deer from the Premier Ranch. Their management is spot on, isn't it? Until next week, always remember, keep God and family first.